Hi guys, welcome back to Panthers Unleashed. Today I am here with
Brad Malick-Beltran.
Brad is a freshman. We've never had a freshman on the podcast before, so this is very exciting. But Brad is not any other freshman. He has a lot of credits, so we were talking about before the podcast started. So we're just going to talk about, like your transition from high school to college, how mental health has played a part in that, because I know you do a lot with that. He is also a student athlete, and we've never had a student athlete, like an official student athlete, I don't think.
Yeah.
On the podcast yet. So you're the first for a lot of things today.
Okay, great. Yeah.
But we'll just start off with like a brief introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into it.
All right. So I'm a freshman here. This is my second semester. I'm from Naples, Florida. I'm on the cross country and track team here at FIU. I'm a mechanical engineering student right now, and I'm 18, I guess. So we were talking about that. How
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the younger guests, right?
Are you a part of like any student organizations or no? Just the cross country?
I've gone to a couple like club meetings at different clubs, but I'm not really like super focused on one right now, or like I've not
That's
officially like joined.
Yeah, you've got time for that.
Yeah, and it's just been a lot, like, to be honest, like the running and like practicing and training, that's like pretty much like a job. Like it's like all day, every day. Like there's never really an off period. So kind of just getting to fit in the club to that as a freshman, it's kind of just a lot. Another thing I didn't want to really worry about, I want to kind of just focus on classes and then, just training and competing my first year. And then from there we'll see when I can fit things in.
Yeah, I will say that's like a lot of, like what a lot of freshmen do. I think the first year they're like really focused on school and getting a feel for the university and how college like classes are.
Right.
And then they kind of just figure out what they can handle from there, because the first year for a lot of freshmen is pretty much the same. You guys take like your English, your math, your science, your history, and then you do like a little bit of electives towards your major.
Right.
What you did was dual enrollment. So what has your first year or first semester, since you're still doing your second one, looked like that is maybe different from the typical freshman?
Right. So in high school, I did a combination of AP classes and then also dual enrollment. So like I came in, I didn't have to take history or like, civics. I didn't have to take English. I started off in Calc 2 my first semester, which like there are other people like who are in my classes also freshmen, like similar. But I didn't have to take a lot of those, Calc 1 or pre-calc and then like
a lot
arts
of the prerequisites
or
you already took that off your list.
And then like a lot of the AP credits, while they may not count, like some of them don't count to anything specific towards my major, right? But they count towards like the elective stuff.
Yeah.
So like those like global requirements or the UCC, like those kind of courses, humanities, like I have those all pretty much checked off.
Yeah, I was the same case with like transferring from Miami-Dade to here. A lot of the things that I did in Miami-Dade counted towards credits that I didn't know they were going to count towards.
Right.
So that helped a lot. But I'm so glad we're talking about this right now, because I know that a bunch of people from high school seniors, just got accepted into FIU.
Yeah.
And from what I've noticed is that the freshmen in the honors college did like sort of the path you did. They did the dual enrollment, or they did like a bunch of AP classes in high school.
Right.
And then they came in as freshmen, but technically sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
Type of vibe. But okay, well that's cool. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I feel like it was good because I know some of my friends like they're taking, American history or whatever. I feel like it was just nice I didn't really have to take those classes that maybe I'm not so interested in or, have to worry about. It's nice that I can kind of, all my classes pretty much align. They're all like kind of the same subject matter now, just like engineering. So just coming in and be able to just dive right into that right away, I feel like has been good because they're all pretty similar. So it's just kind of a more, I don't know.
Together system.
Yeah, I just feel like it's nicer all together.
Do you ever feel like rushed? Or do you ever think about like, dang, my friends are taking this class and they have like all this time and I'm like stressed?
Yeah, there are times when like...
He's like, I don't want to say.
No, I feel like I have a good group of friends in that I literally have the same exact pretty much schedule as a couple of them. Like last semester it kind of just happened on accident where I was in classes just with these guys. We sat together randomly, and then now we're in the same statics class, we're in the same calc class, we're in the same honors college class.
You met them here? Like in
FIU?
FIU?
Yeah, at FIU.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
So pretty much all the guys in my classes, we were kind of just randomly were in some classes with each other last semester, and then this semester we kind of chose to be in the same classes. And I think that's been a good system, just having like that group. We all have the same homework, same stuff to do, studying for the same tests, and it helps. You're not like alone when you're doing that. You got 3 or 4 other guys. It makes it easier. So I feel like that's been a big help.
I agree. I think it's like very much in college. It's like when you meet new people for the first time, especially as a freshman, you're coming. Like if you don't know anybody at FIU, you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like all your classes are mixed with people that you have no idea. You don't have a friend in any single one of them. I was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
All of my like transfer friends from. I mean, not my transfer friends. All of my like friends from Miami-Dade, they either transferred to other schools, or they weren't like in any related major to mine.
Right.
So I would never like cross paths with them. So I had to get like a whole different group of people that I was like familiar with. But I will say that if you're a senior going into college, it's like you find those like-minded individuals, and then you kind of build like, I don't want to say trauma bonds, but kind of.
Yeah.
But then also like actual genuine friendships too. Like I really think it just depends. Like some people don't have a stressful like time adjusting to college from high school, and they're just like, they cruise through it. I mean, that was me. I thought I loved like college.
Right.
I preferred it over high school like 10 times over.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's like I look back. I mean, like for example, today I don't have class on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm looking back and like, wow, like.
Yeah, like I would have been in school till 2:20
right
now.
I'm still like today would have been like my other, and then just like not having to do the same class every day, being like, oh, today I don't have class until this time, or today I get out at this time. Like having that changing, I feel like it makes it go by a little bit quicker though, and it's not so monotonous. It's just
for sure
a little bit more
and like super
engaging.
Like not educational, but like the food.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to eat cafeteria food anymore.
I can go to Panda Express.
Exactly. I mean, we do have a cafeteria.
A Street, no.
But it's like, it's nothing like your high school.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe private school, but even then I would say not really.
No, I went to public school then. It's like, it was the same. You got to get a chicken sandwich or you had pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Every day on that schedule,
chocolate milk or, it was the same. It was pretty much the same kind of thing.
And then the cookies for 50 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's nice to know that we had the same, like, wait, you went to high school here in Naples?
No, Naples. I'm from Naples. Yeah.
I didn't know that Naples was like on the same
system
as us.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar. I mean, my cousin, he's from Miami, and we're both freshmen in the honors college actually.
Aww.
But yeah, we're pretty similar. I feel like our high school experiences, I think.
Well, then how about that? Like, how about moving from Naples to Miami? Was it like a culture shock, or did you feel like?
Nah, I mean,
you've been here so many times.
Yeah, I mean, I have family here, right? So I feel like it's honestly not that much different. It's like hour 45 minutes straight across the alley or on 41, and same thing. It's like there's palm trees and there's a beach, and then here there's palm trees and a beach. Like it's very similar.
But
I feel
Naples is a lot more relaxing than here.
Yeah, I mean, it's way smaller. Like just think like here. I mean, there are days that it takes me to drive from like here to the track where we go to practice. I could have driven up and down Naples twice, like the whole city. It's pretty small.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
For those students who like are coming to FIU that don't live in Miami or have never been to Miami, the traffic is definitely something that you gotta get used to.
I mean, just like even leaving here, to go to the engineering campus. Yeah. And I gotta go. It's 2 lights on 8th Street and then 2 lights on 107, 3 lights maybe. And I just got to cross flag, and it's like
that could take like
those lights are just terrible. Yeah. Or the whole intersection is just blocked. Cause,
I agree. That could take an hour at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or 5 o'clock when like traffic's the absolute worst. But then right now it'll take me like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's either like you get every green and you just go and there's no issue, or like you're sitting there and Google Maps is trying to reroute you through the neighborhood. Yeah.
And it's always when you need it to be green, it's never green.
It's never. Yeah. It's like when I had plenty of time. And I didn't care what time I got there.
Exactly.
I'll get there in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, mine is the same way since I live in Homestead.
Okay.
And I have to come here.
Right.
It's like it's either the highway's empty and there's no light stopping me, and the light right here when you get off the highway doesn't take forever. It's already green when you're coming off. Or there's traffic like every 5 minutes, and when I get off the highway the light's red and it just turned red, so I have to wait like 2 minutes for it to turn green, and then I'm late. No. It's a hassle. Definitely prefer Naples in that regard. Yeah.
I mean, there's like one road where there'll be some traffic when it's like in season and all the people from up north come down. But here it's just so far, like in the 2 semesters, there's been no change. It is every day the same exact times, same level of traffic, like everything.
Yeah, it'll never change though. Just get used to
that. Yeah.
But okay, great. So we talked about the track. You mentioned it real quick.
Yeah, so we practice at Tropical. Because we don't have a track on campus, but we practice at Tropical. And when we leave here 5:35 to get there, it's really easy. We can get there in some days under less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
107 and then Bird, and you're there. Coming back, though, you cross 15 school zones, all the elementary schoolers and middle school. Everyone's trying to get to work. I mean, it takes forever.
Well, in high school, did you do cross country?
Yeah.
So then how did you manage to do cross country here? Like, did they know, or did you know, going from high school to college you were going to do it? Did you get a scholarship for it, or did you have to try out?
I'm not on scholarship. Mm-hmm. I'm not on any athletic aid. But it just works like recruiting. I mean, whether you're on scholarship or not, you still have to go through the same process.
Yeah.
Talking to the coaches, going on a visit, doing all this paperwork, getting your stuff in, making sure it's a good fit. I remember when I came on my visit here, I think it was last year, or when I was a senior in high school in September. Mm-hmm. So I came for a visit pretty early on to FIU, and I stayed with a couple of the guys on the team. And I had a really good visit. I had a pretty long visit. I came on a Friday. I left on a Sunday. So I got to stay 2 nights with some of the guys on the team, and ran with them a couple of times, and really I knew the whole campus. So when I showed up here, I'll say I definitely feel I was already pretty comfortable. Already. I had already seen a lot of it. And yeah, that was a really good experience. And I feel I'm not sure I would have been so confident or so comfortable kind of making that transition if I hadn't been on that visit, right?
Yeah.
Because some of my roommates, actually all of my roommates, back from high school, we went to the same high school together. We've been in middle school, elementary school with some of them. And we're all now roommates in Parkview.
Oh, okay.
So all 4 of us have been pretty good friends for a long time. But I feel kind of my first week of class, I feel I already knew where stuff is,
versus their first week of class, they were kind of lost.
Or at least I was pretending I knew. Or I've been here. And versus them, where they were a little bit, took them longer to adjust, I feel. But I don't know, I feel that helped. And just staying in touch with some of the guys on the team.
Yeah.
So I knew that kind of before, and then coming in to already kind of have those friends, when you're on the team, that's who you're going to spend pretty much all day with. Yeah, all day. Every day, you're with them a lot, so.
Yeah. How does being a student athlete work with your schoolwork and things because engineering is it's technically a STEM major, right?
Yeah, it is. STEM. It's STEM. Yeah, that's the E, engineering. That's
okay, I was making sure. Let me not say that it's not the E in STEM.
No.
But that's a very hardcore major. I have not many friends in engineering, but a couple. I know a couple who are in engineering, and I know that they have a lot more workload than I do. As political science, ours is mainly research and writing and reading.
Yeah.
Engineering is a lot more homework, I feel
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
You're trying to solve problems. Yeah.
So how does that work with cross country? Or how does cross country kind of help you handle all that schoolwork?
So for all the student athletes here, on any of our teams, we have something called the SAC. So that's the Student Athlete Academic Center. Mm-hmm. And there we have a ton of resources computer labs, study rooms, pencils, paper, whatever you need for school. They have that for us. And that's somewhere that's really good, kind of the library, but even more so a little bit more calm and quiet, and you're not trying to find a table, where you can kind of get stuff done. And then also they provide tutoring. You can get tutoring, say, I need it, I have a calculus test coming up or something. Can I please get a tutor? Can we meet a couple times? So yeah, I've had a tutor. Her name's Beatrice. Mm-hmm. She's fantastic. She tutors me.
Shout out.
Yeah. Beatrice, she's a civil engineering major. Yeah, civil engineering major. I think she's a junior. But she's been super helpful. In the fall, I met with her twice a week, every Wednesday, Friday, I think. She's helping me physics, calculus 2. And then now I meet with her every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour. And we do calculus, physics, or calculus, statics, chem. She can tutor me in pretty much all my classes because she took them all.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. That's a huge help, especially because she's familiar with a lot of the professors I have, or she can tell me kind of I took his class last year. This is how the exams were. These are things study this, or I remember this exact problem. And she can really help me with those things. But Yeah, I think that's
Are the tutors student athletes too? Or
no, so the tutors, I mean, I guess you could be a student athlete and tutor, but I think, yeah, most of the tutors are just, they're students here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're fantastic. But Beatrice, she's like awesome. She's a big help, I'll say. Yeah, no, like she's been fantastic. But yeah, so that's like a resource where like cross country and being a student athlete, I feel adds a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just a lot of time that you don't have. You're kind of on a weird schedule, whatever time, waking up, going to bed. It's a little different, I'd say. I don't have as much free time as I'd like. So being able to have a tutor who can just really help me, it's really efficient, provides a lot of help instead of me wasting, hours trying to figure it out that I don't really have.
Yeah.
So it's been a big help. So that's a huge thing that I'll say that the athletics they provide.
What time do you wake up?
So it depends on the day, but I guess I'll give you kind of like just a week, like a normal week of training.
Yeah.
So we have practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday we can run like on our own.
Mm-hmm.
We don't meet. Friday we have practice, and then Saturday we can run on our own, or that's my off day when I don't run, and then Sunday. So pretty much we go Sunday through Wednesday, and then Saturday. Practice is at 5:45 in the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about PM.
No. So it's 5:45 in the morning. Some days we're like off campus. So for example, like Tuesdays and Fridays are the days normally when we have like our harder sessions, and we're going to Tropical, run on the track, or like Sunday. I really like Sundays because that's our long run day.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wouldn't want to do 15 or 16 miles around campus. So we normally go off campus. So we'll go down.
Oh, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Like a field trip.
Yeah.
But to train.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's fun. Like last week, or was Sunday? I think we went to Monty's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So went to Monty's, or we call it Cocoa Plum Circle. It's like a roundabout. It's like down.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Pinecrest Gardens. So we kind of like go to those places and we'll run down there. I feel like it just helps a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a change of scenery.
Yeah, because Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, I'm running around campus.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to go run down there, it's nice. Run over the bridge, go to Key Biscayne. Those are nice runs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a marathon?
No, I have not. No, I know people always ask me, "Oh, have you run a marathon?" No, that's not something, and that's not something I want to do either.
I would think that you would run a marathon.
No.
Is that like a myth? Like cross country people don't do marathons, or some do?
I mean, so, like definitely after college, I'll do a marathon. But like, for us, we have pretty much 4 years, and we have 4 years to train and get really good at our events, at whatever event that may be. And like the longest event you can run is a 10K, so that's 6.25 miles.
Oh, and a marathon's like 26.
26.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that I could run a pretty decent marathon.
I think you could too.
Yeah, but like, and like a lot, like all the guys could, like we could run marathons, but it's just different and not really similar enough to anything that we would do.
Yeah, like a different method of training, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's different training. It's not so, it's pretty much different. I mean, I know like for someone that's like not a runner, you're like, oh, marathon, 10K, 5K,
yeah,
half marathon, yeah, all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But like for us, like there's a big difference when you go from 800 to a mile, or when you go from 1500 to 5K, or so it's different. And
that makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah, but that's one thing. I mean, I've run plenty of half marathons. Like I run over 13 miles, probably 3 days a week, like in one time in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm running like over half marathon distance, but I've never just said, okay, I'm gonna start and I'm gonna see how fast I can run 13 miles. Never done that before.
That would take me like 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer if I'm being honest.
No, it's not bad. It's really not. I don't think. I feel like I have. That's more of like a fun thing.
For it.
Yeah, but even if you weren't training, I feel like you get a group of friends and you.
Yeah, maybe.
It's kind of like an event, Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You go out there with your friends, and it's normally through some like nice neighborhood or over like some like scenery, and
yeah.
There's like they make it like a whole kind of event.
I agree. I think if it has that aspect to it, maybe like 13 miles wouldn't feel like 13 miles.
Yeah.
Because you have the company.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm just not athletic.
Yeah.
So,
No.
like I told you, I went to St. Augustine this weekend, and you know how they have like the lighthouse there.
Okay.
I climbed it, right?
Yeah.
when I was younger, because I went to St. Augustine in 4th grade. Like, I know a lot of people do that, like, for elementary school. And I also climbed the lighthouse in 4th grade, but I'm almost positive it took me, like, twice the amount of time to do it in 4th grade than it did now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, I looked at my boyfriend, I was like, do you want to time it and see how long it takes us to do the whole lighthouse?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, sure. We get to the top, it took us 4 minutes. Like, from the bottom to the top. And it's, like, 260-something stairs.
I hate stairs.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But then I was like, there's no way. In 4th grade, I felt like this took us 2 hours to do. Like, in 4 minutes, it was just like that. But then when we were finished doing the lighthouse, we played volleyball at the beach. And then the next day, I look at him and I'm like, my calf is sore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, from what? And I'm like, from climbing the lighthouse and playing volleyball. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not an athletic person. So when I get student athletes on here, or when I talk to student athletes, it's like, I just don't understand how you guys do it. Like, I know you train for it, but I don't even think training would help me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I'm only 18, and there are days I wake up and I'm just like, like, I just don't feel good. Like, you just feel like you feel bad a lot. Like, there's just a lot of days I'm like, ugh. And I feel like even in high school, like, there are days I did not feel this bad. I feel like, man, I'm getting old. Like, we make that joke, like, like, my knees, like, everything, like, on my back. Like, you're just like, wow, like, 18, I don't know, like, 4 more years of this, I don't know, but
I would imagine that being a student athlete makes you, like, super disciplined. Because you have to do these things when you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You do it.
Exactly. So, in theory, like, student athletes should be very disciplined, and I'd say the majority are. Like, 99% are. But there's always some that, like,
always that 1%.
They can go to bed at 2 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m., and still, be great and run fast and whatever. But no, I'd say for the most part, like, student athletes do take it very serious. And, like, for example, like, we have practice at 5:45. Mm-hmm. I wake up at 5 a.m. pretty much every day. Maybe some days, if I'm really tired, like 5:15, if I just want to get out of bed, put my shoes on. But, like, a normal morning, let's say 5 a.m. And, like, it's very hard. There are days when, like, I just lay there and I'm just, like, scroll on Instagram. And I'm just like, like, I gotta, like, pull my eyes open. Yeah, it's tough. But
and what time do you go to sleep?
So, like, I would like to be going to bed around 9, but I'd say normally it's around 10. But I still feel for college, that is, like, 3 hours earlier than, like, the average college student goes to bed.
I go to sleep at, like, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. No, I know.
But that's just when I'm an insomniac. I really don't sleep.
Yeah, I feel like I can sleep good. Like, I'm a good sleeper. Like, I could sleep 12, 13 hours straight.
But I think that's I'm matching all these things to being a student athlete. But I think that's another quality of like, people who are in sports or are very active. Like, maybe somebody's not in a sport, but they're active, like, outside of school. I just think, like, your body goes through so much in that day that when like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock hits, you're just like, I'm ready to knock out.
Yeah. I'll say, like, right now it's a little bit better because we're in the competition part of our season, so we're, like, racing. So tomorrow, like, I'm racing at UM. We have a track meet. Last week we raced at UM. So our meets are starting. So I'm feeling a little bit better. We've brought down the volume, so we're running a little bit less. It's a little bit easier, so you're feeling a little bit better. I'm not running, like, twice, every day. Some days, maybe only, like, once a week or twice a week now. Yeah. So I'm feeling a lot better overall. But, yeah, like, when we're really in that early part of the semester, like, when we just get back and we're training really hard before we have competitions, like, there are days and it's, like, 7:30 and I'm like, I could go to bed right now if I wanted to. Yeah. Like, you're just that tired. You just feel exhausted.
Like, your cross-country season is starting now.
Yeah, so right now we're in track, so outdoor. So here at FIU, the men's team, we only have an outdoor program. Mm-hmm. Our women's team, they also have indoor and outdoor. Okay. Indoor basically is just, like, a track. It's a little bit smaller. It's only, like, 200 meters around, and it's indoors. And so that's, like, another season, but it's all the same, pretty much. And then outdoors is just, like, outdoor track, 400-meter track. But the outdoor season for the NCAA normally starts, like, after indoor finishes and, like, a week after. So in March, middle of March, we opened up our season last week at University of Miami. We're at University of Miami again this week. And then I think next week I get like a down week. I don't have a meet. And then we're at University of South Florida. Some people I think are going to University of Florida on our team. And then after that, I think University of Central Florida, University of North Florida. And I know some other people may be going to, like, Texas Relays, University of Texas.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Do you guys do, like, out-of-state competitions?
Yeah.
Or is it only in-state?
No, so there's a lot of out-of-state meets, and we have a lot of athletes that go to out-of-state meets. Like right now, I think we have 3 girls up in North Carolina today running, I think, a 10K and 5K. So I'll be looking at the results later, hoping that they do good. Yeah, I'm sure. They're fast. So, yeah, we travel a lot. I think, yeah, I mean, like, especially for indoor, like our women's team, they were going up to New York, Virginia.
Oh, no way.
Tennessee. Yeah, so they travel. They're traveling a lot. But no, I think, yeah, so for cross country, which is in the fall semester, which, if you know the difference, cross country is like you're running around like a field. Right. So you're like on grass, and the track, you're on the track. But in cross country, we went to Alabama twice. We went to Alabama twice. We went up to Tallahassee. And we actually ran a meet back home where I'm from, Naples. And we ran at Florida Atlantic University.
And this is in the fall?
Yeah. So we had,
when classes start?
Yeah. So we had like 5, I ran 5 meets in the fall, and then I'll have about 5 meets now in the spring. So yeah, but we do travel quite a bit. So yeah.
So then how do you do like if you have to miss class, how do you let your teachers know?
I mean, the one good thing I feel like about running is that normally all the meets are going to be like Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's not like basketball where you have like a game on a Tuesday night and you got to travel for that, you know?
Yeah.
So that does make it way easier. And then also I feel like I maybe missed 2 lectures in the fall. I'm maybe going to miss like 1 lecture or like 1 day of like Thursday, my classes in the spring.
I mean, yeah, the semester's almost over.
Yeah, and I think I'm just going to miss like 1 Thursday. So for track and cross country, it's pretty good. I don't know how other student athletes do it when they have like a game, you know, against like Liberty, another team in our conference, on like a Tuesday night, and then they're playing at home on Thursday, and then they're on the road again Sunday. Like all that travel, it's not. I don't know how I'd handle it. That'd be way tougher.
So there's like a big difference in how other sports do their like schedules.
Oh yeah. I mean, just because like in our sport, it's like you're not necessarily. You can't, like, if I run hard on Tuesday, you can't run hard again Thursday. I mean, you can, but like you're not like, you couldn't go like every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, like having a competition. So we compete, like what our coach, kind of what he's had to stick to, pretty much the pattern that I'm seeing is like every other week. So we have kind of, it's a pretty finite time. Like you can only kind of compete for this long, and it's like, but you can't even compete every week of this kind of block. So yeah, we're starting like now, and then I'll go kind of every other week until like middle of May, I think will be our last meet conference. But yeah, so we're not a sport that's like competing. We have a game on Monday, game on Wednesday, whatever. Like every other, you know, I know some other teams do.
Good, though. Especially for someone who's like in a major like yours.
Yeah,
like
it does make it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's very like flexible. Probably the best bet for people.
No, it is.
Who are in like STEM majors. But I imagine that there's other people who like do basketball, football, soccer.
Yeah. No.
That their schedule is crazy. Like we have one of our other guests we've had on the podcast. She was a figure skater, but she is a figure skater, and she wakes up at like 3 a.m. every day, and she goes to do her practice, and then she comes back. No, I'm lying. She goes home, she changes, then she teaches like homeschooled kids until like 2, then comes to class from 3 to like 9 at night. So I mean, figure skating is not like your typical everyday sport. Like, it's a very niche sport that people do. And FIU obviously doesn't have a figure skating team because, hello, Florida. But, like those type of student athletes definitely differ from cross-country, track. I don't know what other lenient sports there are. Bowling?
I feel like at FIU, maybe, I'm not, like, don't quote me on this because I'm not like an expert. I don't know. But I feel like maybe like swim and dive is also one of those where like maybe there's like more weekend.
Okay,
maybe,
but
like,
that makes sense.
Friday, Saturday. It's kind of similar almost. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they've had like Tuesday meets and stuff, but I definitely feel like that is a big difference that I'm a big fan of. That it's like I'll probably never be missing like a Monday or Tuesday, you know, of class, you know, or I'll never be on the road missing, you know, whole weeks. I know like I had a soccer player in my, I think, intro to like CAD drawing or like engineering, like
CAD drawing.
CAD, like 3D, like CAD. When you make like a 3D model. Yeah, CAD. last semester. He was on the soccer team, and we had class Tuesday, Thursday. Like there'd be like, we have a game today. We're somewhere else. Like, what I missed, whatever. And so like for him, like it was way more difficult because like you're missing, if you're missing even just one lecture every week, that's half. Like it's different, and that's one of those things too that's different than like in high school that we were talking about. Like in high school, same class every day, 5 days a week. If you miss one day, whatever. But now in college, like if I miss one Thursday class,
like you're not gonna get anything till the next week.
Yeah, or it's like if that was the day of exam. Like one time I had a quiz that I was gonna miss, so I just had to take it. I think I took it during his office hours or something. My professor, but yeah, like that's just something where it's like, in high school you just take the next day whenever you're here. I feel like it was way less like structured. Where now is like you can look, the teachers, they give you a syllabus on the first day. It's like they know already, what day at what time when we're gonna have the exam. They already have like every day what homework is gonna be due when the quizzes are.
Yeah.
But that does help because then beginning of each semester, I look through like my class, the syllabus is whatever days I'm gonna miss, whatever exam, maybe something I'll miss if I have to move it. And I'll look at
like your track.
We'll look at the like the travel schedule, and what days we'll miss, and then I just gotta communicate that. And yeah, so far all my professors have been great. And
that was literally gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
If you had any issues with your professors, but no.
No.
I would imagine that professors are very lenient, especially with student athletes because they know it's such like a very, honestly, like super time consuming schedule.
Yeah.
Despite the sport, like even if it's a super lenient sport and like you only do Friday and Saturday like meets or whatever, still you're practicing throughout the week,
right?
And so that still like impacts how you go to school, how you learn, like if you're tired, if you're not tired, all those things. But no, that's crazy. Good for you though.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that like, I mean, I feel like I've been very on top of. Like I'm never been like, can I get extra time or whatever. Like I don't like to use it like as an excuse or whatever. But yeah, like there have been times when with my professor, I have an engineering professor now, Nadal Alif. He's hilarious. But like I remember it was first week like of a class, and I told him like, I think I'm gonna miss maybe this exam or something depending if I have a meet. I just want to let you know like what can we do to schedule that, like reschedule or something. And he was just joking with me. He's like, like you're a student athlete. He's like, he goes, I better not catch you sleeping in the back row. Like, you better not be, like, just joking.
The stereotypical student athlete jokes? Yeah.
No, but I'll say, like, our coaches, like, for the track team, are very huge. Like, for them, academics is very important. Mm-hmm. And, like, going to class, being, present, engaged, and getting all your work in. Like, academics is a huge thing.
Like the well-rounded student, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing. Like, that, honestly, in terms of like showing up to practice and like how you're actually performing at the competitions, but then like also how you're doing like with your grades. I mean, I'll have some teammates that'll tell you like, yeah, that is something that they really care about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, which I think is really great that I have coaches that support that. That you have to do well both performing when they need you to perform, and then also in class and making sure you're taking care of that and handling business with your tests. Yeah.
But what about like your mental health time? Like, is cross country something that you do to kind of relieve stress, or is it something that adds to your stress?
Yeah. So, honestly, that is a great question because I wonder that myself sometimes. Like,
it's like a mix of both.
Yeah, like, like when people ask me, like, I don't know how you like running, right? Because that's not something that's like I get it. Like other sports, yeah, like that's fun. Like, I wish I could play basketball. Like, that would be something fun to do. Mm-hmm. Running is not necessarily always the most fun. But, like, I do enjoy it. And now, just because it's a part of my life, like, I almost couldn't imagine, like, not running.
Not running, yeah.
Like, between seasons, we'll take, like, a week off where I don't run at all. And during that week, it's, like, the first 3 days are really great. I don't got to get up. I'm sleeping in. And then after that, I'm just, like, you just feel kind of icky.
Yeah.
Because you're totally off. And so, in the beginning, yeah, like, I'd say maybe like you're less stressed, you're not so anxious, you're not worrying about managing so much because like I just got so much time. But then I feel like towards the end of that week off, it gets almost tougher because now you're missing something that your body like does so well and does so much of. Like it does feel weird. Like you go from running 80 miles a week to running nothing.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? And like you just feel off. And that really, like with your mental health, that is something that I think with running and like endurance sports especially is like it's a little different. And so I work with a sports psychologist. Her name is Dr. Kathy Feinstein, and she's fantastic. I've been working with her now for a little bit over 3 years. And yeah, I meet with her once a week, every single week. We find a time. And in the beginning I thought like, and in high school, it was a lot more just like, okay, how do I manage running and how do I get better running and the mental aspect of, performance. But then over time, we really have discussed and realized that like, yes, like my schoolwork and like everything going on in my life, that all impacts your mental health. Yeah. It's not just the running, and not everything we do is necessarily even talk about like running or this meet coming up or my training. A lot of it too can be like, are you stressed about anything else like with school and stuff, right? Because there's a give. Like if you're really stressed in school, then maybe you're not going to perform your best in running. Yeah. If you're really stressed like with your sport and with training and with practice, maybe you're not going to perform well in school. Right. Yeah. So there's always, you got to kind of find a balance. But that's been something big, like mental health. However you're feeling physically, like you may be super fit, you may be ready to, run fast or have a really good game or whatever it is. But if you're not there mentally, it's going to be really hard.
It's going to be more of a struggle to actually do what you feel ready to do, but you're not present in the moment to do.
Yeah. And I think that's like, I'm a really big like supporter of like mental health. I think that's like the bigger part of running. I think running is like super mental.
Oh, 100% it is, because I step outside and run about like 2 feet and I'm like
yeah. And just even with like the competing, like it's one of those things where it's like, some other guys on my team, like we'll talk like we really like the training sometimes, and like I love training, and then when it comes like we have to race, it's like that's like kind of the nervous part. Yeah. And that's almost the part that's like harder. It's like, yeah, I can do all this training, do all these workouts, run all these miles, and then like sometimes the competition is almost less fun. Because then you're nervous and you have pressure and you're anxious and you're just now stressed about it, and it's not so fun anymore. But keeping that fun in it, always being relaxed, being calm, always being ready to go both physically and mentally. That's been something that I've worked with her like a ton on. And it's changed a lot since I got to college. Like that transition is way different. Like the things we used to work on, the things I used to do or think about, talk about, have changed a lot, compared to now.
Yeah, I like that you talked about this, because I feel like this is like a topic that is not necessarily focused on in like the student athlete world, because it's like, oh yes, you had to, perform like this way for your school or for your team or whatever the case may be, but exactly like you said, like if you're not there mentally, then it's going to be 10 times harder to do what you love and to continue loving it.
Yeah. Because
I feel like a lot of student athletes, they do the sport they do because they love it.
Yeah.
Not because they like don't want to do it.
Right. No.
Like I don't think anybody would put themselves through that if they don't actually love it. So keeping the love in your sport is definitely like a huge thing, I would imagine.
Exactly. And like we were talking about, like when you're like, you have to be very disciplined. Like discipline is even those days when you're not looking forward to it and you don't want to wake up and you don't want to, go through the training. Because there are days like everyone's just like, I wish I could be anywhere else but here. For us, it's normally, I wish I could be sleeping and not here right now. But it's like, because I love it and like looking long term, looking in the future, like this is like you're training for this.
It's not so much of a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I like that statement. So much that this is how we're going to conclude it. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. It was a pleasure to have you. Our first student athlete. Round of applause. And yeah, as you know, we always end our episodes with a pause up. So guys, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast, Panthers Unleashed, on Spotify, on YouTube, FIU Honors as well. There's a lot of other videos on the YouTube besides our podcast, the Instagram. What else we have? We literally have everything.
Yeah.
Just follow it all. Search up FIU Honors on all your platforms and just click follow. But yeah, have a great day, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Pause up.